Hello, GAC members. This is Representative Terry England. I chair the Appropriations Committee in the House. It's good to be with you again, and glad to be a fellow GAC member as well. And we're starting to wrap up the session this year, and this session has been a very, very successful one as far as rural Georgia and agriculture is concerned. Of course, one of the highlights you'll probably hear about over the next couple of days is that we're fully funding the Quality Basic Education Funding Formula, something that's not been done in decades. QBE was created in 1985, and to my knowledge, it's the first time we've fully funded that. So school systems all across the state, but a lot of school systems in our parts of the state, in rural Georgia, are going to benefit greatly from that additional funding. So moving on from that into something that of course is one of my passions, is ag education. And in ag education, we've added 3 young farmer teacher positions. Went back and added a state young farmer coordinator position, something that's not been in place for about 15 years. As we've now gone, I think, a little over 60 young farmer teachers across the state, it was time to put a coordinator position back in place there as well. Moving on and looking at extension and regents. 4 specialist positions there dealing with post-harvest products and problems in post-harvest on several different products, turf grass and several other things as well there. 6 new extension agents, ag and natural resource agents across the state are included as well there. Funding for a livestock drive-in facility down at Tifton, there at the experiment station at Coastal Plain, and as we continue to grow the beef cattle industry here in the state of Georgia, not just beef cattle but other forms of livestock as well, that facility will be up and running before too long as well. So a lot of those things going on, but one of the more exciting things that we've done, ABAC has been a partner with us over the last year, about a year and a half now, as we've traveled the state with the House Rural Development Council, and President Bridges and Scott Blunt there at ABAC have been a great partner with us as we traveled around the state last year, met 20 plus days from one corner, literally one corner of the state to the other. And we will be standing up a Center for Rural Prosperity and Innovation there at ABAC. We're excited about it. President Bridges and the team at ABAC there, they're excited about it. Dovetailing into that is also Governor Deal's initiative and ask of us to focus on rural development in the Department of Economic Development here in Atlanta, and actually hiring someone to focus solely on rural economic development. Amy Carter, a former colleague of ours here in the House, will be heading that up. Amy from Valdosta, a teacher and just a wonderful person, but like I said, a colleague of ours for about 11 years here in the House. And we're excited to have Amy on the road focusing solely on bringing jobs and business opportunities to rural Georgia. And then kind of another piece of that puzzle is what we're looking at doing at the Department of Ag. Commissioner Black and Jack Spruill with the marketing division over there brought us a proposal on opening up and doing a lot more marketing on the Department of Ag's under their focus and umbrella, to look at international and domestic markets, expand opportunities for trade and partnerships there as well. So kind of a 3-ring partnership there, if you will, or a 3-ring model like we see in ag education, of everybody working together and ultimately getting the job done. We've had a tremendous focus this year as well on rural health care. Been something that I've worked on now with Senator Lucas in the Senate, on trying to save some of our rural hospitals. And many of you that are in rural Georgia understand the plight and the needs of our rural hospitals. And so we're standing up a center in partnership with the Office of Rural Health and one of our universities in the state. We're going to put it out as a proposal for our medical schools like Mercer, Morehouse, Augusta University, the Medical College of Georgia, Emory, for those entities to come together and put together a partnership, not only to help us continue to figure out how to address those problems with rural health care, but also to help educate those hospital authority board members that serve in our communities that are good folks, some of the best people that we have in our communities, the doctors, the lawyers, the CPAs, the farmers, the folks that are the cornerstones of our communities, but a lot of times really do not understand the full responsibility that they have as a member of a board at a hospital. And so we want to put together a training program there, because a lot of the things that we see in these rural hospitals are decisions that are being made, but not by folks that probably completely understand some of the issues surrounding medical care. Medical care is so much different than our typical everyday business. And so therefore it's very important for us to help those individuals understand not only the fiduciary responsibility they have, but the legal responsibility they have there serving their community as well. So we're excited about that piece. Moving kind of on down the road, a lot of moving pieces, a lot of moving parts. Continue to partner, as I said earlier, with the University of Georgia and our of course our #1 land grant university in the state, ABAC, and Tifton as well as a huge partner in what we're trying to do. One of the things that of course came to light last summer was the whitefly issue, and working through the fall as the whitefly issue became bigger and more prominent and more problemsome, working with Laura Perry Johnson, the Associate Dean for Extension Research at the University, Sam Watson, one of our GAC members down at Moultrie, worked together to come up with a plan to help address the whitefly issue and help the university get spooled up in order to do the research necessary to protect our fruit and vegetable industry here in the state. But not only that, as we got on into the fall and the cotton harvest started, and realized that cotton yields were down from pressure from whiteflies. And then we realized in North Florida there became some issues that probably are tied to whiteflies and peanuts. So I want to make sure we get in front of that this year and we protect the industry that we've worked so hard to grow fruits and vegetables here in the state, and not go backwards in that area. So a lot of exciting things. You'll hear in the press, this is the largest budget in the state's history, a little over $26 billion. But at the same time, we've got the most people in our state that we've ever had. A little over 10.4 million people live in the state of Georgia now. But when you do the raw math and we realize that our state is prospering, it's growing, we're spending today per capita less than we were in 2005. When you adjust for inflation, you take that number back to about 1999. On top of all of that, we also have reduced your state income tax rate from the cap at 6 down to 5.75. So you'll start seeing a little more money showing up in your paycheck, kind of tag team and tandem with the federal tax reductions as well. So we're working hard to keep Georgia as the #1 state in which to do business in this country. And of course, keeping our industry, agriculture, the #1 industry in our state with a $75 billion impact yearly. And we want to do everything that we can to protect it, protect our citizens, and leave this place better than we found it. Thank you, and God bless.